I'll
be there.
Yes.
All right. I'm sure that it also causes a bit of chaos for fantasy Premier League managers as well.
Just put the two of them in your team.
All right, we'll get to that very, very shortly. But let's talk Harry Kane and Tunde Young. The big story is that Bayern Munich and Spurs have agreed a fee of about £96 million for Harry Kane. But now we're understanding that the player is developing some cold feet and he has a decision to make. In fact, the view from Germany, or the view from the German media right now, is that it is 50.
At this point, he has leverage. That's I don't want him to see that leverage for what? For a Bundesliga that Coman has like 5. Who knows Kingsley Coman?
Here's my problem with Harry Kane. If you're developing cold feet, why did you put subtle encouragement to Bayern to keep on bidding and bidding? They made about 4 bids. Why did you agree terms to about £480,000 a week? And right now you just discovered that your wife is the birth of their child is imminent. You have a young family. You have a goal scoring record. I mean, that speaks of a player who doesn't really know what he wants for himself.
On the contrary, I don't think it's about him not knowing what he wants for himself. I think he's probably just caught in between that space. He's looking at the chance that could this chance
he could have easily made Bayern to stop making an offer.
I mean, it's easier for us to stay on this side and just have these permutations. But I'm actually having a different opinion about Tunde Young. He keeps talking about Alan Shearer's all-time record, 47 this, 47 that. See, let me tell you something about records and titles. If you win a Premier League title at the age of 20, even when you're 100, it will still be in reference that you won a Premier League title.
Phil Foden has 4 Premier League titles.
Listen to me. Listen to me. A lot of people do. If I break Alan Shearer's record and in the next 5 years someone else comes in and breaks that record,
who is going to break the Premier League?
Who will not break it? A lot of people didn't think Brad Haaland was going to do all of the magic assists, 52 goals in about 58 games. What are you saying? If he sets that record and someone else comes in, that means he's not going to be remembered for anything. So what happens to winning a trophy? Phil Foden has 4 Premier League titles. Harry Kane is the captain. He doesn't have a single Premier League title. At the end of the day, you're going to be remembered for the titles you won, not necessarily about the records that you broke. If you break records, someone else can come in and still break the record that you broke. But they can't take your title away from you.
But maybe on the flip side, Yemi, he has a chance to join Bayern Munich here. But the dilemma is in right now, according to what we're hearing, it maybe shows that a footballer's life is not always about stats or silverware.
Exactly.
Maybe it is. Maybe we should make a case for Harry Kane here. Why there's a bit of cold feet is developed suddenly.
Well, Harry Kane is an unambitious human being. He has zero ambition to advance his career, zero ambition to create a proper legacy.
So don't you think it's ambitious to want to break a goal? Hold on. Is that ambition?
If he goes to Bayern for 3-4 years, he can always come back to Spurs.
He'll be 34, 35.
He will break that record if he comes back.
We can win 3 Bundesligas in a row with Bayern as a 35-year-old third choice striker.
The Alan Shearer that he wants to break his Premier League record. Did Alan Shearer not win? Did he not win?
He has 1 Premier League. Is that
he has 1? Yes.
Do you remember him for that?
Yes, he won. He has 1 Premier League.
What year did he win it?
I don't care. Even if he won it when it was 5, he won a Premier League title. And take a listen, guys. At the end of the day, record will not stand on the cabinet. Record will not be shown to your kids and your grandchildren.
But maybe some players don't care about that.
What do you mean by some players? Oh, you think I can feel comfortable? He goes into the international team and he still feels funny with the Champions League and 5 Premier Leagues maybe, and he's the captain of the side, and he has only won 1 Audi Cup, a preseason tournament, guys.
Fortunately for all,
but interestingly, his body language doesn't suggest that. I mean, I'll give you a case. When RVP went to do that Premier League title with Manchester United, you could see his body language. He said his mind was the
little boy in me.
The little boy in me, yeah. The little boy in him went. There is no little boy in Harry Kane right now.
Harry Kane was born a man.
If you get what I'm saying, I'm not talking about a little boy from a point of view. You can't find that hunger. You can't find that urge. I mean, a player like Harry Kane should definitely have maybe down tools.
He shouldn't have even renewed the contract he signed 3 years ago. But I said it maybe than 11
I want to give him the benefit of that. I just mentioned the fact that maybe it's all about stars as well. But maybe also the fact that
nobody else has been this close to breaking this record. That's the point. Nobody has realistically been 2 years within Alan Shearer's record.
Then maybe
that's difficult to walk away from.
What is the guarantee that he's going to break it in 2 years?
47 goals in 2 years is light work for Kane.
Thibaut Courtois is out for the rest of the season. Even before the season started.
In his worst of worst is last year.
You can't be sure.
He did 30 goals.
But Wale, what happens if he decides to stay?
Yeah.
And the first game of the season he gets injured.
And he's out for the rest of the season.
Is there something we can work with? Does he have an injury record like that?
He doesn't have to. There's too much people have an injury record.
We know that, but he can also decide to go play for Bayern Munich, and on match day 1, he also ruptures his ligament.
Exactly, it's open to everyone.
That nullifies everything.
But he's very sure of winning at least a silver.
What if he goes and Bayern stops being good? Bayern nearly did not win the Bundesliga last season.
Nearly.
What if they stop doing
Nearly.
this? Like you always want to do what if for injuries, but you never want to do what if for other scenarios.
Hold on, there's absolutely no chance
of anybody else
will become bad.
Hold on. In 2 seasons.
The interesting thing is that a German journalist had broke this story last season that Bayern were going to come for Kane.
Yeah.
This transfer window. Everybody looked at him like you have to be crazy, but he said they're coming for Kane because what they knew that lost Lewandowski, they felt that they could coast the Bundesliga without having a proper striker, and somehow, Dortmund bottled it. They found a way.
I think another case for Kane here is the fact that if I wait one more season, I have a potpourri of clubs. At my
has the leverage completely. Everybody will still want Harry Kane next.
But the only problem here is that he has put a mockery to the likes of Jan Driessen, who is the CEO at Bayern Munich, Uli Hoeneß, who has put everything on the line in here, and
then he should have just done what Mbappe is doing.
Yeah.
Look, in all honesty,
in fact, Bayern are looking bad in this minute by minute. I mean,
they've been sad for them, but I don't really care about their feelings. If I'm Harry Kane, look, to be honest,
no, it's burn bridges. It's about to burn bridges. It's about to burn bridges.
If Everton can still sign Danjuma back, I know it's not.
You're putting Harry Kane at the same pedestal with Danjuma. Tunde Young.
You are a very smart guy, but you always ignore contest intentionally to fit your.
No. Everybody does.
You know what I'm talking about. I don't
know what you're talking about.
All right,
Danjuma should not even be on this contest at all.
All right, we'll do 3 calls on this matter. If you have anything you want to talk about, then we just move on to other things real quick. 091360410. That's the number to call if you want to join in. 091360410. Let's take Sunday's call. Hello, good evening. Welcome to Sports Cruise.
Johnny from Magic.
Okay, Jam, you're welcome.
Okay. He's not going to win the league. He will win the Champions League because in the next 3 years, I'm sure that Bayern will win one of the champions.
All right, thank you very much for your thoughts, Jam. You're right there. Let's take the next caller. Hello, good evening. Welcome to Sports Cruise. Hello. All right, hello, good evening. All right, let's try this again. Looks like the call line's got jammed. 091360410. That's the number to call. Hello, good evening. Hello.
Tunde Young, what's up?
Yeah.
Hello, Tunde Young.
Yeah, Tunde Young is hailing you. Welcome.
Yeah. I think I should start Tottenham. Let him see.
Harry Kane should stay at Tottenham. All right.
Yeah. I think he's going to win something like Carabao Cup, FA Cup next season. Yes, I believe.
All right, thank you very much. Feels that Harry Kane is going to win some sort of silverware, and we even hear that Harry Kane is enjoying life under Ange Postecoglou because it looks like it's an all-attacking approach. Is going to deploy this season plus James Maddison. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening. Olawale here.
Yeah, Kule, welcome. Go on quickly.
Yes. Harry Kane is a mumuma.
Please keep it.
A real mumuma. He's a mumuma. He has huge ambition as an individual. And I just laughed when you guys were talking about him being chasing to be the highest goal scorer in England. The people that have held that record, how many of them have never won the Premiership before? He's a joke of a striker, for Christ's sake. He's giving excuses. He's giving excuses when Bayern wants him. He's like a man who's been governor before and trying to become president and saying that he's better than somebody that has become president before.
All right, thank you very much for your thoughts. Hopefully we'll be able to take 1 or 2 more before we wrap up the show. But we have to quickly get to our guest. Probably our FPL experts from now on Sports Cruise. We're doing this every Thursdays on the program. Shola Gumbiade joins us on the program. Shola, what's up? How you doing?
Good evening, Wally. Good evening, guys. And
listeners. Good to be here, making my debut. I hope it's a very good one.
I'm sure you've been enjoying yourself so far, so good. And
Yeah.
I mean, we've had some two talking points here that has or that will have an effect on Fantasy Premier League. We talked about David Ryan and Ramsdale. I like your thoughts on that for managers going into week one. Interestingly, Arsenal are taking on a team that they also sold their goalkeeper to. That's Matt Turner. And Matt Turner also shouldn't get comfortable because we understand that Dean Henderson is still probably on his way to Nottingham Forest. We've also talked about Harry Kane as well. I mean, Harry Kane, as I yesterday, was at the 14% of every manager setting up the team for week one. And what has happened today definitely alters that, although we still don't know if he's made a decision or not. Can you talk us through how managers can deal with all of these uncertainties leading to week one starting tomorrow at Sophomore?
Okay. First things first. I don't expect any FPL manager to have had their teams set in stone as at now. The deadline for game week 1 is on Friday, 18:30 BST. That's I think
6:30.
Yeah, our time. So you should be looking out for the final managerial press conferences. I think managers will definitely be given the latest concerning most of the players, injury news, possible starting lineups if some would be generous enough, and of course the mainstays in most teams except for Kane that we just brought up should all be starting, except for I think KDB, who is not yet sure. For Kane and of course a couple of other players who might be leaving. I don't think FPL players, FPL managers should have them in their team, and if you do have them in your team, you should be on the lookout for possible last minute news that might want to throw you off guard, because you wouldn't want to start the FPL season with a player as expensive as Harry Kane blanking in game week 1.
Yeah, now, I mean, the past few years have been pretty significant, Shola. You know, from a historical point of view, starting with the COVID-19 pandemic, it affected, Fantasy Premier League, you like it or not. Do you project this season is going to be a normal season? Is it going to be a season devoid of any hiccups? Do you think it's just going to be straightforward for managers?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's going to be an interesting season. I don't know what's going to happen with the new rules with regards to additional time. Talking about time wasting and all of that. We've already had players complaining. Some of them saying, I think I saw Varane's statement saying they've been playing too many games. And
do managers have to factor in that? I mean, this new timekeeping.
Yeah, I mean, for a team like Manchester City, I keep saying it. Manchester City has a very compact and team squad. Guardiola uses almost the same starting 11 every time, and of course, I've been seeing some FPL.
I disagree.
managers.
I think Pep is the master of changes. In fact, he's master of rotation.
But then, if
and that's why this whole Paqueta also going to Man City thing also makes FPL managers a bit confused. You don't know who's going to start. I think the only guy who is bang on to start these days has to be Erling Haaland.
His team, to me, is still very, very thin. Why I'm saying that is we heard Bernardo was going to leave at some point. We heard this other player, Kyle Walker, was going to leave at some point. I mean, they were as good as gone. But with the departure of Gundogan and Riyad Mahrez, he's now changed his mind, and I think he's told the club to make sure that they keep these players at all costs. So these players will definitely be staying and probably be starting as many games as possible. I mean, you can't take away the goals that Riyad Mahrez brought into the team. You can't take away the goals that Gundogan. I mean, he practically won them the league, I think, a couple of years ago. So I think managers should definitely look out for players like that. I mean, they might not get as many minutes as they used to, but then again, you don't want to be on the losing side if most FPL managers have them in their team, and then you end up being the one losing out.
All right, we'll take a look at the week 1 fixtures in a bit, but let me get to Tunde Young. Tunde Young, Mainland FM has a fantasy Premier League. What do I call it? The league. Yeah, there's a league. Mm-hmm. There's an FPL league,
mini league,
mini league for Mainland FM, and a lot of people have been asking what is the code. Can you give us the code? We'll be emphasizing that code so you can join in, because we've got some very interesting prizes.
Goodies.
Yes, on offer, courtesy Sports Cruise on Mainland 98.3. So what's the code, please?
We are streaming on Facebook and YouTube. LA Regional is asking me FPL code, I beg, which is what I'm about to give. Get out your pen and your papers or your phone and type down TWNSCV.
TWNSCV. TWNSCV. That's the league code. Punch that into your FPL.
TWN
SCV.
All right. T for Tat, W for Wale,
And
N
for Neil,
for Neil,
S for Spurs.
S for Spurs, right?
CV for curriculum vitae.
All right. So that's the code. So join in and let's see what you guys have got to offer as we go into the Premier League season. Now let's take a look at the fixtures for week 1, starting with Burnley, Man City. Shola.
of course. I mean, I think we already had a preamble. What do I call it? Yeah, of what it was going to look like. I mean, we saw how Manchester City dispatched Burnley so easily. I don't expect it to be that easy this time around, but then again, I expect the teacher to school the student. We will be seeing the best of Manchester City's players. I mean, he's been drilling them, and of course, I expect them to come out and perform. Erling Haaland, who looked really rusty against Arsenal, would definitely want to make a statement.
So the leave. Alan doesn't play well. Looks rusty. Fantastic. Go on. No, go on.
Yeah. Of course. I mean,
Please, it's my captain. Let there be no rust.
people were expecting.
All right, let's take a look at the fixtures just in full. Then maybe we'll take 1 or 2 tips from you. Value picks. Yes, my podcast corner part of me taking the best of you. All right. So let's have the fixtures for week 1.
All right. For game week 1, just like I said earlier, FPL Premier League in general kicks off on Friday. We have Burnley at home to Manchester City. The first game on Friday
8 p.m.
by
on
8 p.m. Yeah,
Which
and
means the weekend deadline is for Friday 6:30 p.m. So your team should be set. In fact, should be set earlier than because it freezes when it's close to the deadline.
Yeah. I think most managers will be giving their press conferences by 12. So I mean, you have between 12 and 6:30 to get your team set. And then on Saturday, we'll be having Arsenal.
Against Nottingham Forest.
Yeah, against Nottingham Forest. That's the first match of the day. Bournemouth at home to West Ham. Luton, newcomers, travel to Brighton. Everton will be hosting Fulham. Sheffield at home to Crystal Palace. Newcastle hosting Aston Villa. On Sunday, Brentford hosts Spurs. And then the marquee fixture of the opening week, Liverpool travel to Stamford Bridge. And wrapping it up would be Manchester United hosting Wolves on Monday.
My question is, right, if I'm going to play FPL this season, which new signing who's coming to the Premier League must I have in my team?
And please, while you're answering that, what do we do with David Ryan and Ramsdale?
I have to tell them.
Stay away from both of them.
Okay.
Yeah, go on.
So let me
let's have
answer
it,
the second question first. If you have Ramsdale and Raya in your team,
Not
right
that if you
now,
have them in your team, what
Okay.
do you do?
Which of them do you pick?
Or do you avoid them? Because right now we
No.
don't know what's happening.
No, I mean if Arsenal is going for Raya, I think he's definitely starting ahead of Ramsdale.
Really?
Yes,
Wait.
I think so.
Really?
I don't see any reason why they're
Definitely?
going for him. I think so. I mean, I don't see. Definitely, it's something Arteta has seen in him that probably Ramsdale doesn't give.
All right, so basically you're saying as a manager I should still go for David Raya?
Yeah, of course, he's a very good goalkeeper.
I think I don't want to bother myself with that quack man. I'll probably just go with maybe a goalkeeper at Brentford. The guy is it Flecken? Flecken is going to be number 1 at Brentford. I think they're going to keep a couple of clean sheets. Strong side defensively. So I'd rather just move away from Raya and Ramsdale.
Same thing is happening at Chelsea. I mean, you have Sanchez and Kepa.
No, that one is very clear.
That one is
clear.
of course. So I expect something like that to happen.
New Premier League
New signing.
transfer should I make sure it's my team?
Oilen?
No,
Not yet now. The guy,
Declan Rice?
buying.
Declan Rice?
Declan, I'm not so sure. I don't think I have any sign any.
What does Zobo?
No, it doesn't ring the bell.
I mean,
I think it's also important to also be careful with new signings.
Yeah, exactly.
When it comes to
with
FPL.
I mean, except for the absurdity of Haaland last year.
Yeah,
I don't think.
If Nkuku wasn't injured,
Maybe.
I think Nkuku
Maybe.
would have been.
I have one in mind. I don't know whether I should even be giving my trade secrets. But João Pedro is 5 million for Brighton.
João Pedro for Brighton.
For Brighton.
Yeah, so that takes me to value picks. Yeah.
We were actually going to talk about
Quickly. We have 2 minutes.
A couple of value picks. Just like he mentioned, João Pedro, who was just joined us.
Brighton,
yeah. We have George Baldock, who is a Sheffield United right wing back. We have Karu Mitoma, who is also a very, very good value pick. He did wonders last time. I'm just like
They play Brighton. They play Luton on Saturday.
Yeah, and there's Hwang Wee-yo. I think I got that right. From Nottingham Forest, valued at just 4.5 million, is a forward, and then he will be probably the third sub on your team. But then if, like you asked me earlier, has the prices been lenient? I don't think any player in the history of FPL has ever cost 14 million with what Haaland has done. Yeah, so it will be very, very hard for any manager right now to fit in Haaland, De Bruyne.
But the price has been a bit decent because the difference between Haaland and Kane and the rest of the strikers is about 8 million.
Last year we could see teams that had Haaland, De Bruyne, Salah, and then you mix it up. So this time around, I don't think you can do that.
Interesting. All right, there are also a couple of players who are out of position and they might fetch you some very good value points. For example, Trent Alexander-Arnold. Arnold is going to be a defender, but it's going to play that hybrid midfield role. And he might be giving you some good points. Luis Hall, I don't know. Is that into Crystal Palace?
Crystal Palace.
Yeah, he's started as a midfielder.
With the signing of Gvardiol for Manchester City, you just might see Stones play more in midfield.
And he'll be classed as a defender, right?
Yes.
All right, interesting. All right, let's wrap up with some messages quickly.
Messages on YouTube. Ella Reginald says Spurs is an unserious club. In terms of new signing conversation, he suggests Musa Diaby, and I agree, Musa Diaby of Aston Villa. The Pruning share says, as a Spurs fan, I feel insulted when people insist that he should leave Spurs to show that he's serious. If he's a player for your club, will you be so keen on seeing him leave? We are all hypocrites at the end of the day. So, Wukoria Sheifa says, any updates with Caicedo? I beg, the same way people thought no one would break Karim Abdul-Jabbar's record only for LeBron to win it this year. Kane should go and win. I beg.
There's a transfer market circus going on between Liverpool and Chelsea right now.
Yes.
Yeah, I like
you add Bayern into the mix.
Exactly. I like what's happening. But we have to go. Thank you very much for being a part of it. And looks like I'll be doing back-to-back Fridays on Sports Cruise. Looks like I'm here tomorrow on the show. All right, Inshallah, thank you very much for the FPL segment. It's back next week Thursday, so make sure you stick around next week for another edition of FPL preview for the Premier League. Tunde Young, Okwemi also has been here. Thank you very much, guys. We'll see you tomorrow by the special grace of God. Till then, be good.